everyone, welcome to Diwali Puja. On behalf of the entire Hindu Students Council, I wish you all a very happy Diwali and a prosperous New Year. We have with us Pandit Saxena ji and his wife Sangeeta ji. During this occasion, please take this opportunity, ask them any questions you have about Hinduism or anything after the puja, and stay for the prasad. And also remember to come to Diwali dinner, which is on Sunday at 6 p.m. 9th floor, Kothari. I hope you have a good time.
All right, thank you, Akshay. And happy Diwali to everybody. Let us all sit with back and neck straight. Our channel of the prana that goes through our spinal cord, and we will all be chanting together Gayatri Mantra. So visualize a rising sun and imagine that the golden energetic beams of the rising sun are penetrating our body and mind, and we are glowing with the golden hue of rising sun. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. So we are here again for what we call as puja, right? And puja is a very special process, we know, that is meant for one simple purpose, and that is bonding between us and our chosen ideal. Now, I'm not using the word idol, chosen ideal. Ideal means someone whom we adore and whose qualities we are inspired with, and we want to bring in and infuse our life also with those beautiful qualities. So today in Sanskrit the word is Isht, I-S-H-T, Isht. Isht also means something that you are longing for with the deepest core of your heart. So our Isht for today's puja is Lakshmi Mata. And as you know, in the cabinet of Paramatma, Lakshmi Mata holds the portfolio of treasury. She is the treasurer in chief. All the wealth she manages and belongs to her. So we'll talk more about that. And what a smart puja ideas Hindu people have. When they need knowledge, they approach to the secretary of the knowledge, Saraswati. When they need wealth, they approach to the secretary or the Devi of the wealth, that is Lakshmi. When you need some strength, you reach out to Hanumanji, and so on and so forth. So the point is, in this puja is designed in such a way that people from wherever they are coming from whatever disposition of mind they have, they can approach. The only way to knowledge is begin from where we are and what we know. So that is the starting point. So for some people it could be a nice experience. You can think of it as an intervention in positive psychology, where you come and feel good and get energized. For some it will be a spiritual connection and bonding with Lakshmi Mata. For some it could be an experiment in the science of consciousness, where we kind of raise and alter our state of consciousness to the higher realms. So no matter how you approach, but we will kind of feel a fulfillment and a sense of energetic bonding with Lakshmi Mata on this Diwali occasion. So we will begin the puja, and I will begin this puja with the Vyas Vandana. Vyas, the puja that I am helping you with, I am helping from a tradition, a long-standing tradition called Vyas Peeth. The idea is that the person who is performing and helping you to perform this puja should not get into his head that he is somebody special and who is doing something special. Rather, he should feel like a humble servant of this tradition called Vyas tradition, and we pray to our Guru and Saraswati and Bhagwan Vyas to give us wisdom to lead us to this puja. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परं सुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। लक्ष्मी मेधाधरा पुष्टिः गौरी तुष्टिः प्रभाधृतिः एताभिः पाहि तनुभिः अष्टाभिर्मा सरस्वती। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायत पत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीप। All right, so like anything we do, we get ready, and that get ready process is called Shat Karma. Shat in Sanskrit means 6. So we are going to do 6 quick activities. You can call it as a warm-up routine if you choose to. Yeah, you have to get ready, right? Get into the rhythm, get into the mood. And that's what this Shat Karma does basically. This is part of the daily cycle of puja called Sandhya Vandan. So we'll go through quickly. Take a spoon of water, pour it in your left hand, cover it with the right hand. And when I will indicate, you will sprinkle it on over your head. Imagine that a shower of purity is pouring down on your body and give us a bath of purity. Om apavitra pavitro va sarva avastham gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhayabhyantara shuchi. Om punatu pundarikaksha punatu pundarikaksha punatu. Now you pour a spoon of water in your right hand, and we are going to do the Achman. With Achman, we give a rinse of purity to our internal faculties also. Om Amrito Pastarnamasi Swaha. Sip it for the purity of our mind. Then refill it in your right hand. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Sip it again. This was for the purity of our speech. Then refill it for the third and final time. Om Satyam Yasha Shrimai Shri Shaitam Swaha. Sip it again. This is for the cleansing of our Antahakaran or the core internal faculty. And after that, we are going to do Shikha Vandan. Shikha is the tuft of hair on top of your head. Girls can identify it easily because they have the choti. Boys are losing that tradition now, but that's all right. Means sometimes girls have 2 chotis, so that makes up for the loss in the boys. No matter what, think about this as a flag of our dharma, Hindu dharma. It is flying high on top of our head, like on top of a castle or on top of a temple. There is a flag that keeps us reminding. But the real meaning of this Shikha Vandan, Shikha Pujan is that this is the seat of our thoughts. Every action is preceded by a thought. You had a thought that tonight we are going to go for a Diwali Puja. That thought came first and then you showed up here. Imagine that thought never appeared. We'll be doing something else this evening, right? So our head should be filled up with all the higher thoughts, pure thoughts, energetic thoughts. That is the idea with Shikha Vandan. Dip your right hand finger into the water, cup of water, and bring it and touch it at the root of your choti. Om Chidarupani Mahamaye Divya Teja Samanvite Tishta Devi Shikha Madhye Tejo Riddhim Kuruswame. Can take that off. And now we are going to do the 4th activity called Pranayam. The word Prana, there was a filmy villain also in Bollywood called Pran, but I'm not talking about that. The real Pran Shakti means that life force that keeps every living creature alive. And when that life force ceases to function, that living creature is no longer alive. Not only the Prana Shakti or the life force keeps us alive, but this also is very deeply intertwined with our mind. Whenever you observe a condition of mind in which you feel anxiety or restlessness or depression or envy or jealousy or any of those lower states of mind, you can easily conclude that this is the condition caused by the deficiency of the Prana Shakti. Make sense? So you don't have to pop in a pill of antidepressant to get rid of that condition. What you have to do is do some pranayam, bring in some life force, energize yourself, and you'll be back up and running with full energy. So that brings focus to our minds, and this is very important in student life and in your professional life also. Whenever you need a focus and a concentration, you don't need an energy drink. All you need is a pranayam. Okay, so whenever you get a chance, do it. I'll give you a very simple exercise. Bring your right hand on top of your left hand, put it on your lap restfully, relax, and again back and neck straight. When we will recite the mantra, you will do a slow deep inhalation. Imagine that when you are breathing in the air, you are also breathing in the life force or the prana shakti. That life force that you are breathing in, when you hold the breath for a moment or two inside, imagine that you are absorbing that life force and your body and mind is getting energized. Exhale and think that with the outgoing breath, all the defects, all the flaws of body and mind and behavior are going away with the outgoing breath, and we are becoming pure and full of energy. So let us do a few cycles of pranayam as I chant this mantra. Om Bhu Om Bhuva Om Swaha Om Maha Om Jana Om Tapa Om Satyam Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Apo Jyotirasomritam Brahma Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om. Alright, so that was pranayam. The nyas is the fifth activity in this preparatory cycle. You take a spoon of water in your left hand and bring all the 5 fingers of the right hand together like this and dip it into the water on the left hand, and you are going to touch your different body parts from left to right as I will indicate. The idea is to awaken the divine energy on our different body parts. It's like awakening of a muscle memory. Om Vagme Ase Astu, touch your mouth left to right. Om Nasorme Pranavastu, touch your nose left to right. Om Achunorme Chakshurastu, on your eyes left to right. Om Karniorme Shrotumastu, on your ears left to right. Om Bhavorme Balmastu, on the arms. Om Urvorme Ojovastu, on the legs. And rest of the water you sprinkle on your whole body. Om Arishtani Mengani Tanustanva Mesa Santu. Alright. And sixth and final thing we do is called Prithvi Pujan. The word Prithvi is the Sanskrit word for planet Earth. Everybody knows that? Prithvi is the Sanskrit word for planet Earth. And when we do Prithvi Pujan, we create a relationship with planet Earth, that this Earth is our mother. Like a baby gets all the nourishment and all the nurturing and support in the lap of her mother, similarly we also get all the life sustaining blessings and bounties from the Mother Earth. But we have to treat Earth as our mother. So in that sense, every day when we do Sandhya Vandan, we do Prithvi Pujan, and every day we celebrate as a Earth Day. Alright, it is not one day in a year, it's every day. Yes, very important. It has to be a continuous, sustained effort to reinforce this relationship. So yeah, so you can say with pride in the campus that Hindus celebrate Earth Day every day, and the idea is that our rishis thought long term, and they knew that if we don't maintain this relationship with planet Earth as a mother, then we will wreck it. And that's what we are seeing with the climate change and global warming and whatnot is happening. We think that Earth is an object of exploitation, which it is not. It's a living entity, and we have to treat it as such. So take a spoon of water with all reverence and gratitude. Pour that spoon of water into that puja bowl in which you have the murti of Ganeshji. Om Prithvi Tvayadita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnunadita Tvam Cha Dharaya Mam Devi Pavitram Kuru Chasanam. Fold your hand, bow your head. And now we move on to the Chandan Dharan. there is some red powder on your puja plate. The bowl, you can keep it on the side if you want, so that all the puja material will be exposed nice and all right. Now take a drop or two of water and make a thick paste of that red powder using the ring finger, third finger of your right hand. Don't put too much water, otherwise it will become flowy. So, and then make a thick paste, and then when I will chant the mantra, you are going to apply it to the person sitting next to you. Alright, if there is a odd pair, third person, then another person can help. The idea is that this place where you are going to apply this red paste is the seat of Agya Chakra in the yogic literature. That is called seat of wisdom. And it is very important that our faculty of wisdom is always sharp and alert, and never we let our guards down. Because most of the life events that we experience are nothing but the consequences of the choices you make. Right? You made a conscious choice to come to BU, so you are here. Right? You would have made another choice, you would have been someplace else. So the choices determine our direction of life, trajectory of life. Those choices should be always right. That is the idea. So I'm chanting the mantra, you apply nicely in the middle of the eyebrows, on the forehead to the person sitting next to you. This is also a mark of respect to the other person. Om Chandanasya Mahatpunyam Pavitram Papanasanam Apadam Harte Nityam Lakshmi Tisthati Sarvada. Alright guys, be careful, it's not holy yet, okay? You have to wait for some time. So now if you look at each other one more time, you will find that you are a tad more beautiful looking than the moment before. And when you go out after this puja, people will ask you, what is this red dot? You can say with pride, this is a stop sign. No thought will enter in my head without my permission. I have full control on it, right? That's what drives us nuts most of the time. We start getting bombarded with a lot of thoughts all around us, especially in this internet and information age. And we should be choosy about it, because it's our mind, not a garbage can, right? Alright, so now we are going to do the Sankalp. Sankalp is a very important concept in not only in puja but in every pursuit of life. The word Sankalp means a contract. Typically the contracts, if you read, there is always a clause that tells you how to break the contract, how to get out of the contract you are just going to sign. But Sankalp is a very special type of contract in which there is no exit clause. Once you commit, you commit. So this is the Sankalp we are taking for today's Diwali Puja, Lakshmi Puja, Ganesh Puja. And interesting thing to note is that yes, it is Diwali and we are going to do Lakshmi Puja, but this Lakshmi Puja is always combined with a Ganesh Puja. Note that it is a unified puja of Lakshmi and Ganesh. So somebody asks you what you do puja on a Diwali day, you don't say just Lakshmi Puja, you say Lakshmi and Ganesh Puja. Okay, so we'll talk more about it when we get to that puja part. But first we have to be committed for the puja, that is called Sankalp. So there are red strings on your puja plate. So make sure that after you use one string each for tying to the person sitting next to you, there is still 2 strings left for the puja also. Alright, if not, then split it. And here is the drill. I will chant the mantra, and in your mind you take a sankalp. Sankalp means an intention, a firm resolution for the puja, that tonight on this Diwali celebration we are going to do puja of Lakshmi and Ganesh. Alright, now you tie onto the hand of person sitting next to you on the right hand. And you don't have to synchronize, do it one at a time. Om Ratena Diksha Apnoti Diksha Apnoti Dakshinam Dakshinam Shraddha Apnoti Shraddha Satyam Apyate. Alright, as you finish up those knots and the strings, you might have heard that American phrase called no strings attached. Well, that is only true in proverbial sense, but in real life there is a string attached for anything of value that you want to achieve in your life. And this string is a reminder of those commitments that you make to achieve and accomplish the things that are valuable in our life. And one such thing we are going to do is this puja of Lakshmi Mata and Bhagwan Ganesh. Alright, now with that we come to the Deep Pujan. There are lamps lighted here, and these flame in these lamps, they also signify the flame of consciousness that keeps us living and alive. So let us fold our hands, and I will chant the Deep Pujan mantra. If you choose, you can focus on the flame of the Deepak and repeat this mantra with me. Say Om Agni Jyoti Jyoti Agni Swaha Suryo Jyoti Jyoti Surya Swaha Agnir Varcho Jyotir Varcha Swaha Suryo Varcho Jyoti Varcha Swaha Jyoti Surya Suryo Jyoti Swaha. Excellent. Now we have done the Deep Pujan, and this is the point where we have to invite Lakshmi Mata, we have to invite Ganesh Ji, we have to invite all the Devis and Devatas, because Devatas love to come in a group. And that is one of the characteristics of the Devatas. They don't roam around alone, they just like to hang out in a group. So whenever we do a puja, we invite all the Devis and Devatas. Of course, there is a primary deity called Ishta Devata at a given point of time. So this process is called Dev Avahanam. I want you to repeat this word loud. Dev Avahan. Okay, so this is a combination, composite word of the two words. First part is Dev, second part is Avahan. The word Dev in Sanskrit means some entity that is luminous, self-luminous. This light is not self-luminous. There is something coming inside from powerhouse that is making it light up. But self-luminous consciousness, deities. So our rishis found out that there are various frequencies and wavelengths of lights. Something shines red, something shines green, the whole color in the rainbow that you see. So when you have to think and understand about all these Devis and Devatas, people ask you questions sometimes. Why you have so many gods in Hindu? You must have faced this question, right? Everybody got it. First, correct them right then and there. Tell them that we don't even have gods in Hinduism. Period. All we have is Paramatma. There is a supreme consciousness, and then we have Devis and Devatas. Translating Devi and Devata as gods is a mistranslation out of ignorance. Alright? So correct that and then explain what is the meaning of a Devi or a Devata. Use the example of a rainbow. When you look at rainbow, all the beautiful spectrum of the colors in the rainbow, that signifies the spectrum of the white light of the sun. So similarly, when we see so many beautiful forms of Devis and Devatas here, what it signifies? It signifies the beautiful spectrum of the supreme consciousness we call as Paramatma or Param Brahma. So remember the rainbow, whenever you have to think about Paramatma or Puja or Devis or Devatas. Now you will say, why that? Think about it. If you just say light, light means so many things. In a traffic light, it means a yellow, it means a red, it means a green. If there was only one color in the traffic light, think about what will happen on that intersection. It will be chaos. So to run this universe, run the affairs of this world, there are several Dev Shaktis involved. And you can choose and connect with a specific Dev Shakti, like we are going to connect with Lakshmi Mata and Ganesh Ji today. Maybe when your semester end comes, you will like to do the puja of Saraswati Mata to get the best of the grades and influence the mind of your professors to grant you the bonus point. No, you will work hard, I know that. So let us do the Avahan of Ganesh Ji and Lakshmi Mata. So there is some rice on your puja plate. Take some rice and a petal of flower in your hand and repeat this mantra of Bhagwan Ganesh and let us invite him. The invitation happens by the process called Shraddha. Shraddha is a state of intuitive affirmation in our mind, and let me define that. Do not confuse Shraddha with blind faith. And blind faith basically does not allow any reasoning or rationale, it is just blind as it is. Shraddha, on the other hand, it's a state of intuitive affirmation. And I take the example of the bond between a baby and a mother. Suppose there is a baby standing on this table and there is a mother in front. Baby jumps, baby intuitively knows that I am not going to fall, my mother is going to catch me. That's not blind faith, that is the intuitive affirmation. You can even call it baby Shraddha on her mother. Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of Shraddha when we have in our heart, we can connect with Lakshmi Mata, we can connect with Ganesh Bhagwan, we can in fact connect with any Dev Shakti whom we want to connect and we are in need of whose powers. So, repeat with me, say Om Ek Dantaaya Vidmahe Vakra Tundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. And now offer that rice and flower on the Murti of Bhagwan Ganesh. So we have invited Bhagwan Ganesh. Now we are going to invite Lakshmi Mata also. So again, take a few grains of rice and some petal of flower petals on your right hand. Close your fist. You can put your left hand underneath like this. That is the gesture of reverence and invitation. And repeat the mantra with me. Say Om Maha Lakshmi Vidmahe Vishnu Priyayai Dhimahi Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayat. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. And now again you offer all that rice and flour under the Murti of Bhagwan Ganesh. We imagine that sum total of all the divinities are being invoked into this Murti of Bhagwan Ganesh. Was it easy? Mantra? So you are all Pandits now, you can do it whenever you want. Okay? Yeah, the only thing is that listen to some music MP3 tracks and that will sink in into your head and you are on your own. That does not mean that I don't want to come here. I definitely love being with you guys, but I want you to be self-sufficient. You know, I would next time maybe we can pair up and one of you can come and we can do the puja together. So it's like what you call as residency training in the medical school, right? Yeah, that's how you make surgeons, right? There is no other way. So, not only we do the puja of Ganesh Bhagwan and Lakshmi Mata, we actually also do the puja of the ledgers, accounting ledgers on this day. In India, on Diwali day, a lot of businesses, they close their accounting books for the preceding year and open new accounting books for the next year. The idea is that whenever we are in business or accounting, the integrity of our books, the honesty of recording our transactions is of paramount importance. That's why they have to pass that Sarbanes-Oxley Act here, because people were messing around their books too much, called creative accounting, right? They don't teach it here, but so we do the puja of the accounting books and puja of the pen with which we write. Now most of the puja accounting happens in computers, so don't bother, just take some rice and flour in your hand and chant Gayatri Mantra and offer it on the Murti of Bhagwan Ganesh. Imagine that we want to bring the financial prudence in our life. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Make the offering. So that also tells you that when you need funding, you send the right account to your mom. All right. Now we are going to do the Navagraha Prarthana. In Navagraha Prarthana, we pray to all the celestial bodies in our solar system. These are not the rotating masses, big objects rotating up there, but there are certain divine energies that are keeping them that way. So those are called Navagrahas. So don't confuse graha with planet. There is a very subtle difference there. And take some rice and flour in your hand and let us do the Navagraha Prarthana. We pray for all the positive influences in our life. And we also pray for removal or mitigation of any negative influence. Om Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Buddhascha Guruscha Shukrah Shani Rahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Kara Bhavantu. And offer it. Now that we have invited Lakshmi Ji, Ganesh Ji, Navagraha Devatas, all the Devis and Devatas, this is the time that we give them a warm welcome, right? And the first welcome we do is called Namaskar. Whenever somebody shows up at our place, we just say hi, Namaskar, right? So I'm going to chant the Sarvadeva Namaskar mantras. When the word Namah comes, make Bhagwan Ganesh, make Lakshmi Mata know that you are really excited and happy that they are here. Okay, so repeat the mantra, the word Namah, with all the love, all the excitement in your heart, as if they are really here, and they are really here because you invited them, right? So fold your hands. Om Siddhi Buddhi Sahitai Sriman Mahaganadipate Namaha. Om Lakshmi Naranabhyam Namaha. Om Uma Maheshwarabhyam Namaha. Om Vani Hiranyagarbhabhyam Namaha. Om Shachi Purandarabhyam Namaha. Om Matri Charan Kamalebhyo Namaha. Om Kuladevatabhyo Namaha. Om Ishtadevatabhyo Namaha. Om Gram Devatabhyo Namaha. Om Sthan Devatabhyo Namaha. Om Vastu Devatabhyo Namaha. Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha. Om Sarvebhyo Brahmanebhyo Namaha. Om Sarvebhyo Tirthebhyo Namaha. Om Etat Karm Pradhan Sri Lakshmi Devyai Namaha. Om Punyam Punyaham Dirghamayurastu. So we have invited Lakshmi Mata, Bhagwan Ganesh. We have done the initial welcome. And now if you want, you can sing a bhajan from your book, and then we will do the Shodshopchar Puja and the Yajna. Do you want to, or we continue? Okay, sure, go ahead. Kapalini Maa, Jagadodharini Maa, Jagadodharini Maa, Jagadodharini Maa, Jagadodharini Maa, Jai Jai Maa, Jai Durge Jai Jai Maa, Jai Durge Jai Jai Maa, Durge Jai Durge, Durge Jai Jai Maa, Durge Jai Durge, Durge Jai Jai Maa, Karuna Sagari Maa, जगदोद्धारिणी माँ
जय जय माँ
जय दुर्गे जय जय माँ
जय दुर्गे जय जय माँ
जय दुर्गे जय जय माँ
दुर्गे जय दुर्गे
दुर्गे जय जय माँ. All right, now we are going to do the Shodashopchar Puja. Again, the word Shodas in Sanskrit means 16. All right, and there is another Sanskrit word which is we are talking about Shodas. There is a very sublime word called Shodasi. Right, that means a 16-year-old girl. That's a beautiful name. Some girls have that name. So what I'm trying to say is that Shodas means 16, and that word was just popped up in my mind, so thought you would like to know that. All right, I think everybody. So here the Shodashopchar Puja, in 16 different ways we are going to offer some small gifts to Lakshmi Mata and Ganesh Ji. The idea behind gifts is that gifts become a carrier of our thoughts and emotions. Sometimes when you meet, suppose when we meet Lakshmi Mata, Ganesh Ji, our hearts are overwhelmed. At times we are at loss of word. So when we are at loss of word, what we do? We offer some gift. That gift basically becomes the carrier of our thoughts and emotions. So all the gifts that we have to offer is available in our puja plate. Lakshmi Mata, who holds all the wealth of this whole universe, no matter how expensive gift you buy for her, it's going to be nothing, right? So really she doesn't care about the price of the gift. All she cares about is that what intention, what emotion we attach with that gift. Remember when you were little and you made a small card for mom on her birthday? That was a small card, but it was priceless for her, right? It doesn't matter that you bought a $10 card or not, that small card you did on your scrapbook was much more valuable. So the point is, all the emotions that we connect with all these gifts, that is what really makes up for the experience and enrichment of this puja. Every gift that we have, it acts as a stimulus, as a hook to our memory.